What if I told you there's a biological switch in your body, known for millennia by Egyptian priests, that can reverse the aging process while you sleep, and that 99% of people die without ever knowing how to turn it on? This isn't a theory. It's lost knowledge from Thoth, the scribe of the gods, that modern science is finally confirming. The secret isn't in an expensive cream or a miracle pill, it's in a simple adjustment you can make tonight, before bed, using only your body. In the next few minutes, I'll give you the exact step-by-step instructions to activate this mechanism. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover could change not only your nights, but the rest of your life. If you believe the body has a hidden healing power, comment, "The awakening has begun." The doctor of the future will not prescribe medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human body, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. Imagine knowledge so powerful that it was locked away in the depths of Egyptian temples, guarded with more zeal than the pharaoh's gold. Under the starry desert sky, the priests of Heliopolis not only observed the stars, they studied time itself. They knew something our civilization has forgotten. Sleep is not just rest for a tired body. For them, it was a sacred portal, a moment when consciousness shifted to a plane where true healing took place. They saw the body not as a machine that wears out, but as a garden that, with the right care, could flourish indefinitely, delaying the winter of old age. Think about it. Why do some ancient monuments withstand millennia while modern structures crumble in decades? Because they were built on solid principles. Egyptian priests viewed the human body in the same way. They knew that the foundation for a long and healthy life lay not in remedies or potions, but in aligning the body with the natural cycles of the universe. During sleep, they believed the soul detached itself enough to allow a primordial intelligence, the same one that heals a cut or sets a broken bone, to work at a much deeper level, repairing the wear and tear of time cell by cell. They didn't call it science, but magic or sacred ritual. However, what they practiced was an advanced form of biology. They understood that the state you enter sleep in determines the quality of repair your body will perform. If you fall asleep full of stress, worry, and anxiety, your body remains in a state of alert, unable to initiate the great cleansing. It's like trying to renovate a house while a fire alarm is constantly blaring. The renovation simply doesn't happen. The priests knew how to turn off that alarm. But how did they do it? How did they activate this hidden force? The secret wasn't in a rare elixir or a complex incantation. The key was in manipulating an internal system of the body, a biological switch that controls whether your body will expend energy to fight or flee, or use that same energy to heal and regenerate. And this switch, this key that turns aging on and off, is directly connected to two opposing states that govern all of your physiology. And most of us live trapped in the wrong state. This switch that controls aging is not a myth. It's a real mechanism within you, governed by two systems that operate like an accelerator and a brake for your body. On one side, we have the sympathetic nervous system, your accelerator. It fires in situations of stress, danger, or excitement, preparing you for fight or flight. Your heart races, your breathing becomes short, and all energy is diverted to the muscles. On the other side, we have the parasympathetic system, the brake. It is activated when you feel safe and relaxed, initiating the rest and digest mode, which should really be called rest and repair. It is in this state of calm, when the brakes are applied, that the real magic happens. The body finally receives the signal that it is safe. The heart slows down, blood pressure decreases, and the resources that were previously ready for an emergency are redirected to internal maintenance. It is the moment when your body begins the cleanup, repairing tissues, fighting inflammation, and clearing damaged cells. The question is, when was the last time you truly allowed your body to enter this state? For most people, the answer is almost never. The problem is that our modern lives keep our foot on the gas pedal all the time. The stress of work, the incessant notifications on our cell phones, the blue light from screens late into the night, the anxiety about the future. All of this keeps our bodies trapped in fight or flight mode, even when we lay our heads on the pillow. Your body is exhausted, but your nervous system remains on high alert, like a soldier on guard who can't abandon his post. And as long as that internal alarm isn't turned off, the deep regeneration protocol simply can't begin. Far from our hectic society, in the icy peaks of the Himalayas, Tibetan monks became masters at controlling this internal switch. Through meditation and body control practices, they were able to voluntarily induce a state of calm so profound that their vitality became extraordinary, even at very advanced ages. They didn't know the scientific terms like parasympathetic system, but they understood the fundamental principle. To heal the body, you first need to calm the mind and nervous system. They knew how to apply the brakes on command. Modern science, with its measuring instruments, has finally managed to map what these monks were doing intuitively. Researchers discovered that the key to this change of state is the activation of a specific nerve. The vagus nerve. It is the main communication channel of the parasympathetic system, a kind of neural highway that sends calming waves from the brain to all the body's organs. When you stimulate this nerve, you are sending an unequivocal message to each of its cells. Everything is all right. The war is over. Repairs can begin. And here is the most impactful revelation. The way to control this nerve, to turn on this biological ignition that initiates the reversal of aging, doesn't require years of training in a monastery. The tool to do this is with you at this very moment. It's something you do without even thinking, more than 20,000 times a day. A process so automatic and fundamental that no one has ever taught you to use it as the most powerful healing technology ever created. And the ancient Egyptians, under the tutelage of Thoth, knew exactly how to modulate this process. The breathing technique that Thoth taught. The tool you use more than 20,000 times a day is your own breath, but not in the way you know it. In the teachings attributed to Thoth, breath, or the breath of life, was seen as much more than a simple mechanical act of inhaling and exhaling. It was the missing link between the visible and invisible worlds, the bridge that connects your mind to your body, your intention to your biology. Hermetic knowledge, which originates from these ancient teachings, states that the way you breathe actively shapes your physical reality moment by moment. Think about the difference. When you're stressed or afraid, your breathing becomes short, rapid, and shallow, coming from the upper part of your chest. It's survival breathing, alert mode. Now, think of a moment of deep relief or relaxation. Your breathing naturally becomes slower, deeper, coming from the diaphragm. This change isn't a coincidence. It's your body shifting gears, going from the accelerator to the brake. What the ancients knew is that you don't need to wait for relief to breathe deeply. You can breathe deeply to create relief. For Egyptian priests, nighttime breathing was a sacred ritual. The goal was not only to bring oxygen to the blood, but also to modulate the body's subtle energy, preparing the ground for the regeneration journey that would take place during sleep. They knew that by consciously controlling the rhythm and depth of their breathing before sleep, it was possible to directly influence their physiology, calming their heartbeat, silencing their chattering mind, and creating the perfect conditions for cellular renewal to begin. They discovered a fundamental physiological secret. A long, controlled exhalation is a universal safety signal for the nervous system of any mammal. Think of a sigh of relief. That's a long exhalation. When you prolong your exhalation, you're hacking your own nervous system, telling it that the threat has passed and that it's safe to let your guard down. It's a direct command to the vagus nerve, that highway of calm, to kick in and flood your body with signals of relaxation and repair. But it wasn't just any long breath. The ancient masters realized there was a specific rhythm, an almost mathematical cadence that maximized this relaxation response. A kind of sacred geometry in the way the air entered, was held, and then released. This cadence wasn't random. It followed a proportion that placed the body in a state of coherence, where the heart, mind, and nervous system began to operate in perfect harmony, like a well-tuned orchestra. This ancient knowledge about the exact ratio of breathing was passed down through secret traditions for millennia. It wasn't something written down for the masses, but a secret whispered to the initiated. They knew that this specific cadence was the numerical key to unlocking the gate of nightly regeneration. And today, modern science, with its ability to measure brainwaves and heart rate variability, is finally rediscovering and validating the accuracy of this lost knowledge. This rhythm can be expressed in simple numbers that anyone can use. This secret rhythm, this cadence that science can now measure, is not complex. Its beauty lies in its simplicity. The modern expression of this ancestral wisdom is known as the 448 protocol. It's a numerical code that acts as a password to access your internal repair system. The process is as simple as it is profound. You inhale through your nose while mentally counting to 4. Then, you hold your breath without tension for a count of 4. And then comes the most important part. You exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. The key to everything lies in the exhalation. By making the exhalation last twice as long as the inhalation, you are powerfully activating the vagus nerve. It's a direct physiological trigger, a biological hack that forces your nervous system to switch out of fight or flight mode and into rest and repair mode. Modern scientific studies confirm this. This specific breathing pattern has been shown to increase heart rate variability, a key indicator of a healthy and resilient nervous system, and drastically reduce levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, in the blood. This is not a modern invention. It is an adaptation of principles used for centuries. Tibetan monks in their Tomo, or inner fire, practices used very similar breathing rhythms to generate body heat in freezing temperatures and enter deep meditative states. They manipulated their breath to control their own physiology. The 448 pattern is an accessible and safe version of this same principle, specifically designed to maximize the body's relaxation response and prepare it for a night of deep regeneration. Think of this code as a sonic geometry. Each number, each count creates a vibration, a frequency that resonates with your body. The 4-second inhalation energizes, the 4-second pause balances, and the 8-second exhalation calms and releases. It's a sequence that tells your biology in a language it understands perfectly. You are safe, the threat has passed. Repair can begin now. You are literally using the sound of your own breath to reprogram your internal state. By practicing this rhythm for a few minutes before bed, you're not just relaxing, you're actively changing your body chemistry. You're lowering adrenaline and increasing the production of calming neurotransmitters. You're setting the stage for the cellular cleansing and rejuvenation processes, which only happen in a state of deep safety, to operate at their maximum capacity overnight. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert. The concert, in this case, is your own regeneration. But however powerful this breathing technique may be, it is only one part of the equation. It's like having the keys to a high-performance car but not knowing where to drive. For the transformation to be complete, for rejuvenation to truly happen at a deep level, this physical technique needs to be combined with an element that resides beyond the body, a component that science is only beginning to understand, but which the ancient masters considered the most essential ingredient of all. The intention that programs the cells. The missing ingredient, the element that transforms a mechanical technique into an act of power, is your own consciousness. The teachings of Thoth, as well as almost all the great wisdom traditions of the world, affirm that mind and matter are not two separate things. They are interconnected aspects of a single reality, dancing together in continuous creation. Your consciousness, your focus, your intention has the power to directly influence your biology. This is not vague, wishful thinking. It is a fundamental principle of the universe. Modern neuroscience is finally catching up with this ancient wisdom through concepts like psychophysiological priming. Studies show that when you set a conscious intention before a task, your brain and body prepare for an enhanced response. You are essentially giving an instruction, a command to your system. Before initiating the 4-4-8 breathing technique, the act of setting a clear and focused intention works like programming software that will run overnight. This intention is not a vague wish or a passive hope. It is a clear statement, a direct command to the intelligence that governs your cells. Something like, "Tonight my body cleanses and repairs itself completely. Every cell renews and rejuvenates while I sleep." By doing this, you are aligning your conscious mind, the part of you that thinks and decides, with the regeneration process that is about to begin with your breath. You are giving purpose, direction to the energy that will be released. This practice transforms a simple breathing exercise into a sacred and personal ritual. Each inhalation not only brings in air, but also the intention to heal. Each exhalation not only releases carbon dioxide, but also accumulated stress and toxins. You infuse each breathing cycle with purpose. You become an active participant in your own healing instead of a passive spectator. It's the difference between scattering a seed to the wind and carefully planting it in fertile soil. Quantum physics shows us that, at the most fundamental level, reality responds to observation. The act of observing can change the state of a particle. Similarly, the act of directing your consciousness to your cells with a healing intention can influence their behavior. Your cells are always listening. They respond to your body's chemical environment, which is directly influenced by your thoughts and emotions. By creating an internal environment of calm through breath and focused intention, you create the ideal conditions for regeneration. Now you have the two main keys, the physical technique of 4-4-8 breathing, to change your physiological state, and the power of focused intention to direct the healing process. You've learned to turn the ignition and program the destination into your body's GPS. The final step is to create the right environment, the perfect setting so that this nightly alchemy, this profound transformation, can finally happen without interference, and this involves a small but powerful ritual. Ancient cultures understood something we have completely lost: the importance of creating a sacred space for sleep. The bedroom was not just a place for the body to collapse from exhaustion, but a sanctuary for the soul to restore itself. To perform the rejuvenation protocol, the preparation of the environment is minimal, but profoundly significant. It's not about lighting candles or incense, unless that helps you, but about preparing your own consciousness for the transition from the external world to the internal world, where true healing happens. The ritual begins even before the first breath. Already in your bed, with the lights off and your cell phone out of reach, dedicate 30 seconds to simply observing your natural breathing. Don't try to change it. Just feel the air going in and out, without any judgment. Feel the temperature of the air in your nostrils, the gentle movement of your abdomen. This simple act of passive observation establishes a baseline of awareness. It's like resetting your computer before installing a new program. You are anchoring yourself in the present moment. After those 30 seconds of observation, you begin the 4-4-8 pattern. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale through your mouth for 8. Maintain this rhythm for 5 to 7 minutes. Consistency is much more important than perfection or duration. It's better to do 5 minutes every night without fail than to try to do 20 minutes. Once a week, you're not just doing an exercise, you're building a new neurological habit. You're training your brain and body to associate this rhythm with safety and deep relaxation. Think of it as teaching your nervous system a new trick. At first, it may resist, your mind may wander, but with daily repetition, it learns. It begins to recognize the 4-4-8 pattern as the signal to switch off alert mode and switch on repair mode. Over time, the simple act of initiating the first breath of the cycle will be enough to send a wave of calm throughout your body. You are creating a conditioned trigger for regeneration, which will work on your command. This small daily ritual, which takes no more than a few minutes of your time, is a powerful act of self-care. It's a message you send to the deepest layers of your subconscious, saying that your well-being, your health, and your vitality are an absolute priority. In a world that constantly demands your energy and attention outward, you are reclaiming those minutes to direct that same energy inward, toward your own healing and renewal. And the most incredible thing is that you don't have to wait months to see results. The body's response to this new command is surprisingly fast. You don't need to have faith or believe in something mystical for it to work, as it's a purely physiological process. In the first few nights of consistent practice, when you combine the right environment, the correct breathing, and focused intention, something extraordinary and undeniable begins to unfold the moment you close your eyes, and especially the moment you open them the following morning. The forgotten mechanism that reverses aging. Now we come to the heart of the secret, the promise that this ancient knowledge held. Aging, when we look closely, is not a single event that happens when we have a birthday. It is the sum of countless micro-damages that accumulate day after day at a cellular level. Imagine that each of your cells is a small city. Over time, waste begins to accumulate. Proteins that have lost their shape, components that no longer function, defective organelles. If this waste is not collected, the entire city begins to collapse. That is aging. In 2016, the scientific world finally gave a name and a Nobel Prize to this cleaning process. Japanese cell biologist Yoshinori Osumi deciphered the exact mechanism that prevents this collapse. Autophagy. The word literally means to eat oneself. During autophagy, your cells identify their own damaged or useless parts, enclose them in a membrane, and recycle them, transforming waste into raw material to build new healthy parts. It is nature's most perfect recycling and quality control system. And here's the connection that changes everything. This autophagy process doesn't operate at full strength all the time. It's massively activated precisely when your body is in the parasympathetic state, the rest and repair mode. When you use the 4-4-8 protocol and focused intention to fall asleep in this state, you're giving the green light for autophagy to begin operating at its maximum capacity. Your sleep cycles deepen, and it's during the deep sleep phases that the autophagy peaks occur. Approximately 90 minutes after you fall asleep, and then at recurring intervals, your body enters these peaks of cellular cleansing. It is during these times that the true reversal of aging occurs. Mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of your cells and have become old and dysfunctional, are disassembled and their components recycled. Malformed proteins, which are linked to numerous age-related diseases, are hunted down and eliminated. Your body is not just resting, it is actively rebuilding, cleansing, and rejuvenating itself from the inside out. This is not a mystical process or a belief. It is pure, measurable biology, triggered by a conscious change in your nervous system. The ancient Egyptian priests and Tibetan monks were absolutely right. They didn't have microscopes to see the cells cleansing themselves, but they observed the results in their own bodies. More energy, more mental clarity, better health, and a much longer and more vibrant life. Modern science has simply given us the detailed instruction manual to understand why their practices worked so precisely. By practicing this nightly ritual, you transform sleep from a passive necessity into one of the most powerful active tools for personal transformation. You cease to be a victim of time and become a conscious collaborator in the process of your own renewal. Each night becomes an opportunity to reset your biological clock, to cleanse the damage of the previous day, and to wake up a little younger, cleaner, and more energized than when you went to sleep. And the signs of this transformation soon appear in your daily life. The effects of this protocol are not a vague promise for the distant future. They manifest in a clear and observable timeline, beginning on the very first night. The most immediate change people report is the speed and depth with which sleep arrives. That mind, once a whirlwind of thoughts, worries, and to-do lists, suddenly quiets down. The body, receiving the safety signal from the 8-4-8 breathing pattern, sinks into rest with surprising ease. Like a ship finally finding safe harbor after a storm, after the first week of consistent practice, the transformation becomes undeniable the moment you wake up. That morning brain fog, That sluggish feeling that used to take a long time to dissipate with cups of coffee simply disappears. In its place, a sharp mental clarity emerges, a feeling of being truly awake and present from the first minute of the day. The energy you feel is not nervous, caffeine-fueled energy, but a calm and stable vitality that sustains the start of your day with focus and tranquility. Between the second and fourth week, the benefits of optimized autophagy begin to become visible on the outside. The skin, which is the body's largest organ and a direct reflection of our internal health, may begin to look more vibrant and hydrated. This happens because low-grade systemic inflammation, one of the main drivers of aging, begins to decrease. The efficient removal of damaged cells and the production of new, healthy cells is reflected in a more rested and rejuvenated appearance. During this same period, you may notice that your daytime energy becomes much more stable. Those sharp energy dips in the middle of the afternoon, which used to make you crave sugar or more caffeine, begin to diminish or disappear completely. This is because your mitochondria, the cellular powerhouses, are being repaired and renewed overnight. Cells with healthy mitochondria produce energy much more efficiently, resulting in lasting vitality that doesn't depend on external stimuli. These are the outward signs, the visible proof that the internal cleansing and repair mechanism is working at peak performance. They are the first fruits of your commitment to the nightly ritual. Each morning with greater clarity, each day with more energy, each glance in the mirror reflecting more vitality, are confirmations that you are on the right track. You are witnessing in real time your body's ability to heal and rejuvenate itself when you simply create the right conditions for it. But as encouraging as these signs are, they are just the tip of the iceberg. The real magic, the deeper and more meaningful renewal, is happening on a level that the eyes cannot see and mirrors cannot reflect. While you sleep, a cascade of regenerative processes is being optimized, going far beyond simple cellular cleansing and impacting the very architecture of your health and longevity. And understanding what really happens in this sanctuary of sleep is what solidifies this practice for life. What really happens while you sleep? When you fall asleep with your parasympathetic nervous system activated, it's not just autophagy, the cellular cleansing process, that is optimized. Your entire sleep cycle deepens and becomes more efficient. This means you spend more time in slow-wave sleep, the most restorative stage of sleep. It is during this phase that your brain consolidates memories, clearing out useless neural connections and strengthening important ones. It is also the time when your body performs most of its physical repair, mending muscles and tissues. In addition to slow-wave sleep, you also optimize REM sleep, that stage famous for vivid dreams. REM sleep is crucial for emotional processing, creativity, and problem-solving. It's as if your mind, free from the constraints of conscious logic, organizes the day's experiences, resolves internal conflicts, and finds innovative solutions. Waking up feeling emotionally lighter and with new ideas is no accident. It's the result of high-quality REM sleep, something that chronic stress prevents. But the cascade of benefits doesn't stop there. During deep sleep, your body reaches peak production of one of the most important rejuvenating agents, human growth hormone, HGH. In childhood, HGH makes us grow. In adulthood, it is vital for tissue repair, maintaining muscle mass, burning fat, and maintaining bone density.